Well, good day, everyone. This will be our final announced Environmental Matters webinar program. We started these in February and have been delivering 2 a month. I'm Wendy Grethen in Environmental Services Division of Public Works here with the City of Superior. And the topic for today is Superior Stormwater Education, to learn about what we've been up to for the year and who we've been involved with. We use the word peer for public education, involvement, and relations. And we like to do things in the community, and it's part of educating people and involving people so that we all can keep our water quality high. Well, one of the things that we did is all 5th grade classes, all 5th graders from schools in Superior were invited to tour our facilities here at the wastewater treatment plant. They came in April and May, and as they came here, they were here for a couple hours, and we split the groups in 2, as some of the groups were rather large, and one group toured the facilities outside, which is all outside, and the others, we played games, educational games, Jeopardy, and we also have a little water drop costume that we have a student volunteer in, and they have a good time and learn about what we can take out of the water here and what we can't here at the wastewater treatment plant. So we were very happy that all the schools did attend, and we got to take them on the tour. You can see that we have several buildings here and stops along the tour as they go and learn about how water is cleaned before we release it out in the bay. Another activity we were involved in is going to all the classrooms and presenting a little program on non-point source pollution, and then inviting the students to do a little artwork on how the importance of water to them. So we had many submissions for the art contest, and it was tough to decide, but we did have we had several winners, including a first place winner, and all the winners' artwork were displayed at the library right around Earth Day. Another thing we've been doing beginning in the spring, late spring, was with UWS as a co-sponsor. We had a pre-order sale of rain barrels, compost bins, and compost accessories. And this sale brought in people from Superior and beyond, over from Duluth as well as rural Douglas County. And we did sell over 100 of each of the rain barrels and composters with the sale. And since the sale, we also were distributing information about the environmental benefits of using rain barrels and compost bins. Both are really important for helping keep water quality higher. The rain barrels, again, are slowing down rainwater, catching it, and it's a great source for plants. Plants love the fresh water. And the compost bin is a good way to turn your food scraps and some garden leaves and different material into great soil. We do have a separate webinar on each of those topics, rain barrels and one on composting. We also got a blog going, the Superior Stormwater blog, and you can follow the blog anytime. We discussed some current activities that we're doing, as well as an assortment of other environmental topics relating to water and the health of this area. There also are buttons for additional resources on the blog, some of our past activities, some contacts, information, a calendar, all that are present with the blog. So that's the address there of how you would find us. Other social media included getting a Facebook page going and creating a Twitter account. And we post, again, different news articles as well as what we are up to. So take a look, and there will be information for accessing these places. You can We also, one more thing to add is we do have a YouTube page that has some of these webinars on, and you can listen to them anytime. Besides this Environmental Matters webinar series, which again started in February and we've been doing 2 a month, we also had a Businesses Preventing Pollution webinar series, and that started in July and ended a week ago, and it included information for businesses about how to prevent pollution. These were more industry specific, such as dental offices or automotive industries, or composting on a larger scale, what a community or a workplace might be able to do. And these also are archived. Here's the look at the Environmental Matters webinar series and the variety of topics that we covered. Everything from winter salt, which now that we're moving into the winter time, it's a good opportunity to look at that one, how we can use less salt, how to properly dispose of pharmaceuticals and why it's important to not flush them in the toilet. We also had one on our permit, the MS4 permit, what the City of Superior has, and learning about the flood control program, low impact development, and again rain barrels composting like I mentioned. Trees, native plants are also involved definitely with improving water quality, hazardous waste, electronic waste disposal, the importance of sending those to the right locations and not putting those in the trash, how to conserve water. One was on Lake Superior Day. We had one on illicit discharge, if there is anything coming out of some outfalls that shouldn't be, and then learning about stormwater best management practices, wetlands importance, mercury, protecting local waters, and the wastewater treatment process. So all those many, many topics, you can go to our website, or again the YouTube video route is another way to listen to those. RSPT, it's the Regional Stormwater Protection Team, and it's made of local government agencies and groups that meet monthly. And we're part of it. People are coming from Superior as well as Duluth, Hermantown, neighboring areas. And the goal is to protect local water resources through education about stormwater. And here it definitely allows us to reach further by having a larger group. Each person's working in their own way, but together we're helping to spread awareness about the watershed that we all live in that goes out into Lake Superior, and what we can do on land that can reduce our impact on the water. RSPT has a website called lakesuperiorstreams.org, and there is quite a bit of valuable information at that site relating to rain barrels and road salt and many different topics, and they do have a calendar too. The City of Superior is actually a member, and we do attend their meetings each month. We also, at the boat launches in town here, have kiosks set up. They were funded by a grant from the Wisconsin Coastal Management Program, and with each kiosk is information about 2 invasive species, how to identify them, how they spread, and why they're a concern. At the kiosks are little racks for brochures and for just more identification information. We also have some displays indoors, 2 permanent ones, one at the Mariner Mall and another at the Blaine Business Center. We also have had an ongoing display at the Government Center, which has been out most of the summer, and all these displays are changed periodically with new fresh topics, and many of them do have brochures and information to take with you too. So stop at those, visit with those, just a minute at your time, and you can learn more and share with others. Education booths, we set up and have a table at different events Lake Superior Day was outside. That's the third Sunday in July. We were also at the Head of the Lakes Fair at the fairgrounds. There's been some more specific meetings, invasive species, a walk, Cause for Pause fundraiser walk, Harvest Fest, East End Days, Douglas County Youth Fair, and the list goes on. A health fair, housing, somewhere at the Mariner Mall, and somewhere outdoors. Even in Duluth, the Lake Superior Zoo Earth Tracks event. So perhaps you stopped at a booth when we've had one, and if you haven't, do so in the future. We'll be out again. We do public wastewater treatment tours. We had several during the summertime, and it really only takes about 45 minutes for the tour, and we can accommodate different size groups. Really, if there's just a couple people that would like a tour, we'd still be interested in sharing this important process that we have going on here. Our phone number is there, and we are open 8 to 4:30, but if there is a group, Monday through Friday, if there is a group that has only meets in the evening and would like an evening tour, that's fine. Give us a call, and with enough notice we can do even a weekend or an evening tour. Summertime is best, that the tour is all outdoors. But the process is going on 24 hours a day, all the year through. The picture here is a new addition last fall of a whole new building was added, and these two troughs that have UV light bulbs lowered down in them, and that's replaced chlorinating the water, and UV is the way we disinfect the water in its final stop before it goes out to Lake Superior, to the Superior Bay. Besides having booths at events, we also go to groups and kind of make our own events. We've been to the library several times, the Superior Library for youth. They have a nice youth section there. During spring break, we brought a microscope and water samples and some slides and did a little program on life in a drop of water, that a lot of life does depend on these little life forms, the bottom of the food chain, and their health is important. The environment of water that they live in depends on a healthy environment, and their health is important to the health of all the other organisms and fish that eat them, and then we like to eat the fish. Another program we did was the water cycle during the summertime, summer break, and had a nice group of youth that came, as well as some daycares. We also went to the Boys and Girls Club and did a program that was a mixed age group, and did a program again about the water cycle, where they made a little bracelet, different colors representing different stops that a drop of water may be on as it continues and moves and moves and moves. Another group that we worked with are the seniors that are meeting over at the Senior Center, that we've done some programs on household hazardous waste, proper disposal of that, and then also mercury, information about mercury. If you know of any group interested in an activity or presentation about water or some of these topics, such as you have seen in the Environmental Matters webinar list, let us know. We'd be happy to do it. And again, it can be during the day, Monday through Friday, or an evening or weekend could also work out. Another thing we were busy with this summer, it was a weather-dependent activity, but it did work out most of the time, is we went storm drain stenciling. We worked with a big group of 5th graders at Northern Lights Elementary in June, and then there was also the YMCA campers in August, plus a couple more schools in September during Pollution Prevention Week. And Lake Superior Elementary and Cathedral, thank you all students and campers for getting the message out and putting this message next to storm drains that do not dump drains to stream, for people to realize that the storm sewers do not go to the treatment plant here. Stormwater going down storm drains goes right out to rivers untreated. So we want to make sure it is just rainwater or snow melt going down those drains. So we like to work with groups of students, and then we also had several public storm drain volunteer times. One started out at Central Park, and another was Fairlawn, and another Carl Gullo Park. So those park areas, the neighborhoods there, are quite well stenciled with the message. And those the words, letters should be up still for several more years. So thanks again for the participation of everyone. Also, this is back at the library. We also put together some speaker nights, that it wasn't just one speaker per night, there were several speakers. One was held in May with the whole topic of native plants, and we had a speaker from the Wisconsin Land Trust, native plant company business, talking about shoreline restoration, the local organization about native plants, wild ones, and then another city employee on the importance of wetlands. And then in September, during Pollution Prevention Week, we had one that addressed electronic waste disposal, and it was Afterlife Electronics came. There was also a lead prevention, lead poisoning prevention. Also the community police officer, Bonnie, came talking about the medicine drop box where pharmaceuticals should be brought to rather than being flushed. And also a physician, Dr. Emily Onello, also joined us to talk about tiny, tiny air pollutants and how that can affect us, both our lungs and our heart is at risk. And then more recently, just a couple weeks ago, the day before America Recycles Day, which was November 15th, we had a program at the library where Hartel's DBJ, AA Roloff, Douglas County Recycling Coordinator, and then I also was part of the program and addressed what do we do with all this stuff. And the city point, we're talking about household hazardous waste and mercury to make sure those do not go in the trash. But for many other things, more and more can be recycled. So it also was a nice Q&A session too for people to get some questions answered. Mercury is a topic. We are ready to go out and give presentations to people. We have displays, and we've had those out. We have a disposal guide. There's also, we put out community drop-off places, have some notices about mercury. We are a free drop-off place for light bulbs, fluorescent light bulbs, both the compact ones and the tubes, for old thermostats that might have mercury in them, and then the mercury thermometers. So here at the wastewater treatment plant, people can drop those off, Superior residents, for free anytime. We will give you a free mercury-free thermostat that we do have some of those left. It's very, very important to keep mercury out of the trash. Things with mercury should never go in the trash, and they do need to be properly disposed of. Mercury, unfortunately, bioaccumulates. It's persistent, and even though there can be low levels of background mercury level, it can become greater and greater and greater up the food chain. And from that, it's a reason why we do have fish advisories, limits on eating fish. So for the health of a pregnant mother, the developing fetus, for youth, we do need to obey these fish advisories. And meanwhile, we're working to reduce how much mercury would make it into the environment. Mercury is recycled too, so that's another part of proper disposal. We ran a little chat series in October instead of at the library. This was with the smell of coffee and fresh bagel smell. It was over at Big Apple Bagels, and it was over 3 weeks. The first week we discussed how what we do in our home affects water quality. The focus of the second chat, the second week, was how what we do in our yard affects water quality. And then the final session was how what we do in the community affects water quality. It was a nice group of people that came and shared information of what they're doing or what they'd like to see more people do or not do in the area. But these things going on in our homes, in our yards, in the community, even if you live 3 miles from Lake Superior or don't even know where the nearest stream is, what we do in these places can have an impact. It's kind of like we have an extended shoreline of Lake Superior in these other places. The shore of Lake Superior isn't just at the shore. These other places can be unfortunate ways that bad stuff can get into the water. So the more we do education and familiarize and increase awareness about these topics of ways to prevent pollution and clean up things, then that will help greatly with our water quality. We've also celebrated or went out on a bigger education force. Last week of April is National Scoop the Poop Week, and we distributed flyers to animal businesses, grooming places, boarding places, animal hospitals. We also put up posters. There was a press release right up in the paper, and we have Rex. Rex came out and visited at several local places. We were out with Rex at Walmart, at the library, and at one of the Super One grocery stores with the message of please scoop the poop. We also gave out information on how someone could make their own pet waste digester, pretty simple process, and some information on picking up pet waste. And then we were giving out a little pet waste bag caddy. But it's important if people bring their own bag, then they're more likely to pick it up. And in the city of Superior, there are several of the mutt-mitt dispensers at higher traffic park areas for people to grab a bag too. So bring your own bag, or make sure you know where they are and use the bags from the mutt-mitt dispensers. Because scooping the poop isn't just during that week, it's all the year through. Another thing that was done last spring was with 2 schools. We had 5th graders come together at the Mariner Mall and had transformed the empty space of the aisle of the mall into table after table after table of learning stations, each with activities to engage and involve the students in all relating to water. Experts were part of that day, and we're thankful that the EPA, Lake Superior NER, we were there, and then the teachers all were part of putting that program together and running some of the stations. The mayor also came at the end and gave a little talk, and then we also sang a song about clean water and our role in clean water. We do have the website of Environmental Services, and it's the city website, and then all you need to do is do /ESD and you'll get right to us. And then from that, it's divided into stormwater or wastewater. Again, we're mostly doing education about stormwater, but we are ready to go for wastewater topics too. On the website, you'll find many, many more things with the PEER program. And whether you want to learn about rain gardens, how to compost, what care of and maintenance of your car has to do with water quality, some extra tips about winter, including a nice video from Fortin Consulting on using less salt. That's a very good demo. A short video link is linked there. We also have a disposal guide for where to properly dispose of several things in Superior. And then again, all the webinars are archived. The rain barrels are all sold out. We have 2 more compost bins left, but that information was when you just put that as a little redirect wording. And then on the website, one more thing with many, many other things is an ID form of where you would report any illicit discharge that you might be noticing in the community. On site here at the wastewater treatment plant, we have 6 rain gardens. They're showing a diversity of native species, grasses, some shrubs, ferns, herbaceous plants. This summer was a big planting and getting it in shape. Over 120 plants were planted, and we're thankful for some helpers that came from the master gardeners helping with some root removal and some native plants, and others from the community also were helping. There are some rain barrels set up with each of the gardens and drip line buried underneath, and then there also is a compost bin for people to see that and recognize that. We did have a billboard up from September through October, 8 weeks up on Belknap, and the message was "Keep storm drains clear for a clean Lake Superior." This was sponsored by a grant from the Four Cedars Environmental Fund of the Duluth Superior Area Community Foundation. So it's a visual of we don't want oil. That's again where car maintenance helps a lot, because stormwater runoff does happen after a rain. We also want to keep the drains clear and not have even leaf matter, let alone other potential whatever liquids be near the drain, because the other end of these is the lake, where we like to enjoy and play in the water. Stormwater newsletter twice a year, mailed to all the residents, so about 8,000 are mailed, and it has some news and information, some quick tips, some contact information. And then as we've had booths and attended different things, we've given many, many things away. Besides the literature, there have also been freebies of air freshener, room deodorizers, pencils with "Clean water is in our hands" message, keychain, backpacks were given to some of the storm drain stencil helpers, the youth. We have koozies for beverages with the City of Superior and "Only rain down the storm drain" message. We have some City of Superior bags. This is a newer thing that came out during Pollution Prevention Week. It's a spray bottle that has a recipe for non-toxic, make your own cleaner, non-toxic cleaners with simple ingredients. And then these are the mentioned bag caddies that we pass that hold the bags. And we have also been making some buttons with different topics. So if you have any questions relating to our activities, or want to come and schedule a tour here, or for us to come to you with a presentation, please contact us, 715-394-0392. Environmental Services Division is ready with an assortment of topics, so just contact us. Here's an email as well. And thank you all for attending. Again, our past webinars are archived, and then if you're wanting to keep up with newer news and events, the website also has a news section, and then also through the social media of the blog and Twitter and Facebook are other places. This concludes the Environmental Matters webinar series. However, during the month of December, we will likely be doing 2 more. One on recycling, sort of a little bit of a recap from the Let's Talk Recycling presentation in November, and then as well as one to really learn how to get involved, not only with us, but some other good groups and people that are working toward keeping Lake Superior clean and healthy, because clean and healthy lake is part of healthy us. So we think it's important for education to continue on for all ages. And thank you so much for sharing what you learn with others, both in speaking, sharing, as well as in doing, picking up litter, many different things that everyone can do as they go forward. Thank you very much.